Greetings and welcome to another excellent World of Tanks video. So I want to show you kind of what I have observed so far on why I think the KISS Metal Fest is objectively bad. And it's unfortunate because I was optimistic about it being good, because I like KISS. I've listened to KISS since, like 1976. And I was excited. I thought it was going to be, great. When I saw the clips of the tanks in action, I thought that was great. Like you see the Demon tank right here. And I saw the commanders and I was like, it's okay. I don't know who they got to design these versions. The only one that I thought looked really good, when you take the context of we're going to make KISS into army soldiers, I thought the Spaceman Commander looked the best of all of those from that context. The other context is, if you look at them from Halloween perspective, that goes up. You could live with all of those. The best ones being the Demon by far, and I have a clip or two to show you to prove that. Some people would say the Catman, he looked very, feral. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't do it for me, but whatever. I heard the voices, and they're awful. The only one that's good, and I say good meaning, say a 7 out of 10, would be the Demon. He has a lot of his personality comes through in the voice, but for some reason they just added this distortion, or whatever you want to call it, which I thought was a bad idea. Why would you mess with the voice, or the voices of the guys who've sold millions upon millions upon millions of records? It doesn't make any sense. Just take whoever your favorite singer is and say, hey, we're going to make you into a game, but we're going to mess with your voice and make it sound different. What the hell are you thinking? You're thinking like World of Tanks. That's how you're thinking. These guys just go out of their way to destroy their own product. It's just ridiculous. And this is just another example. Not as bad as some of the others, of course, but the pattern is there. They can't get out of their own way. They just destroy themselves at every possible turn. It's like, hey, here's an idea. We can do this, and it'll be great, fantastic. And then it's like someone's in the room and goes, hey, how can we screw this up some? Well, let's take the singers and let's change their voices. Now, there's a genius move. I mean, really, dude? But that's the brain trust that they have. They're completely, and it's not really a pun, but they're tone deaf. They have absolutely no concept of what's going on. I don't know what these guys do or what they think these things are supposed to be, but they couldn't be any more wrong. All right. Now, I wanted to have this tank here on the display because I have my Demon Commander, but I don't have the KISS tank because, number one, only idiots buy these tanks before there was a discount. If you bought this tank without a discount, you're an idiot. Let's just be honest. That's just the way it is. I don't care if you like that or not. And if you waited for the discount for any of those tanks that you wanted, that's fine. That's a smart move. Whether I would buy it or not is irrelevant. But you took advantage of the opportunity. All right. I do like the way this looks, but I don't like some of the other things I've seen. Figure we'll just show you what's all available, here in the KISS Mega Fest or Metal Fest, sorry. I'm combining the idea of Kiss Mega, which was back here. I think I should hit this last because it's just awful. Okay, let's look at the Commanders. Now, this is awful. The only thing good about it is that you get, they have the actual Paul Stanley guitar. All right? Why is he wearing a cap? It doesn't make any sense. His voice doesn't even sound good either. That's So on this, I give it thumbs down. No way, Jose, not interested. Now, if you can construct a way where you're interested in that, fantastic. For me, negative. The Demon. Now, I would personally have said, look, at the very least, if you want to do this, okay, that's fine. It looks okay. But why don't you have the on-stage armor that he has, because it looks fantastic? It's like, okay, you want to have two versions? Fine. Get the modification version, whatever you want to do, like they have for the Carmilla. They added that last Halloween, 2024. It looks fantastic. All right? So, good. This is a really good Commander. Great for Halloween with that flame effect, as you can see. It's just fantastic in the garage, too. So, thumbs up on this one. Could have been even better, is my evaluation. Spaceman. Of the combined rock and roll guy army, this is the best of the bunch. For some reason, the goggles on top and the headset with the communications antenna works on this for me. It looks really good. But his voice was still awful. Catman. I've never been a fan of the cat persona in Kiss, but he's back there behind the drums. It's not a big presence. Okay, it's like, okay, you're there. This is the best you could do. But this one to me is does nothing. Again, but as a Halloween feral guy, put him in a Lycan or in one of those other Halloween tanks, you could make a good case for that. So that's good in that regard. But this helmet, it just looks awful. I don't know, man. It's thumbs down. Okay, I mean, Spaceman is thumbs up. Demon is thumbs up. The other two are thumbs down for me. Okay, I'm not gonna buy the Spaceman because his voice just isn't good. The only one I can recommend is the Demon, because the voice is still the Gene voice and the personality comes through. The Star Child Paul, his voice just doesn't sound good. There's no zing at all. So I'm like, no. Okay. 2D Commander Pack, it's like, whatever. Does this really turn you on? Now, I've mentioned before two-dimensional commanders, and all the drawings of these commanders are excellent drawings. Most of the time they have really rotten drawings, which really hurts those things. These are all excellent drawings. Look at these drawings. Great. Okay, now I just don't like the way this looks. That's just me personal. That cap is killing me. Excellent. 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 This is the one for the Demon. And it's a, cartoonish comic book, Halloween. So that part is good. Excellent. Excellent. Just really a great drawing. Excellent. Excellent. Ugh. I mean, come on, dude. That helmet is just so ridiculous. Fair, decent, Steven is fine, but you have the Steven. Just put the costume on it. What were they thinking? Now, here's the dealio. I finally figured out why this is the case. In the Rush the Stage event, the band that's playing on stage is a band of Stevens. the gray aliens. All right, that's what the connection is. I was like, what is the connection? I'm not against it. I was thinking, man, you're gonna do this. You've got a 3D commander. Just pop the things on the design on it, and you're gold. No, they're idiots. This is the same group minus the band members. Okay, why you'd offer two of those different sets is stupid. But again, they're morons. All right, you have to go in. You guys are dumb. What do you guys? Are you the guy? Did they consult you when they were destroying the design of the Cracker Barrel logo? That's what I think. Okay. See, here's the Steven. Now he's wearing the spaceman suit in this drawing. That's it. You can see the top part of it on his shoulders. All right. What were they thinking? I don't know. Ugh. Kiss Cosmetics pack. This is egregious. It's so awful. It's just absolutely egregious. I was talking to Brownie and I told him, after he mentioned that it was so expensive, I said, this is the reason why. Well, the 2D commanders and the combination is the gratuitous addition of generic Kiss crap to put on your... Why would you do this? It doesn't make any sense. They should have asked someone, hey, you've been following Kiss for close to 50 years. What do you think? I go, stupid, great. This is free. I got those. Fantastic. I'm good. Okay. Kiss Army. I'm fantastic on that. Fantastic stuff. Nope. I wouldn't stick this on anything. I wouldn't stick this on a tank that I hated, much less one that I liked. It just looks out of place. Okay. Something wrong with it objectively. Just looks out of place. This is, these are, well, this one's different, but this is from the solo albums. Solo album covers. I wouldn't put these on anything. Now, in the case of most of the other Metal Fest tanks, you can't even put an emblem on the tank. I would think that at least if you're going to make this trash, you should be able to put it on the tank. Okay, I would never do it, but at least give people the option. This is just an abomination. I don't even know what this is. We Are Creatures of the Night. Well, that's a trash album. Sorry. That's just me, personal. What in the holy heck? I mean, why? This at least makes, sense from a advertising, what have you. Not my favorite execution that you could have, but it looks pretty good. Would still never stick it on my tank. This is awful. Awful. Kiss's first album cover. Literally, that's the cover from the first album. The only difference is that the Kiss logo was not on there. So, okay, I guess, kind of gives you a kind of a flashback of the time 1973. And, there's a, kind of a musical Beatles thing. It's like, okay, because Kiss is the Beatles of the 70s, essentially. It's, that's just what it was. That the color, the monotone or monochromatic color scheme to this doesn't really do it for me. Some people could like this, and I'd understand that, but I would never do that. I mean, this is just all awful stuff to me. To put on your tank is awful. Now, this is the only exception because these are the heads from the Rock and Roll Over album cover modified to put on tanks. So you could put this on the Demon tank and you would go, oh, that from long range, people could see this. Oh, that's a Demon. That's fantastic. Okay. And there's your Catman. That's fantastic. I like this. I just don't know what it's for. I just don't know. Spaceman on the Spaceman tank would be great. Same thing, Star Child, etc. Awful. In my entire listening to Kiss from the 70s, I've never seen this rock god's business before. It's just no one ever says this. This is completely out of left field, has no application to Kiss. I'm just telling you. I want to say they've made references to this phrase of rock the world, but even that is very lame. It's very, very minute. That's just stupid. Hey, look, we're at Metal Fest. Let's have a thing of our thing where we can put on our tanks that says hard rock. Because guess what? Kiss is hard rock. They're not metal. So it's like this is in your face. All right? This is from the second album. Second or third? Well, second or third album. The first 3 albums were Kiss, Dressed to Kill, and the other one was Hotter Than Hell. So tomato, tomato. These are from the albums that nobody really bought. Okay? There's a bunch of B-level songs on all of these albums. And the problem was, it's classic, Kiss history, is that they had 3 albums. They didn't really sell very well. But they were killing it. Their concerts were just killer concerts. Their attendance was maxed out all the time because the word got around that they were, fantastic live. They just didn't have studio songs that sold. Now you gotta realize this is early 70s. Okay, when I say early, I mean before 1975. Okay, so you got Jackson 5. That's Michael Jackson and his brothers. They are killing it, right? Early 70s, the Osmonds are killing it as well. From studio songs on the radio, etc. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Those guys are just killing it. But these guys they're killing it live in concert. All right, that was the deal. It's so hard to read this, It's just confusing to the eye. Not a good idea. And this is, from one of the first 3 albums. That gets a line from one of the songs. But Turn It Up, that's another line from a song. You drive us wild, we'll drive you crazy. This is from Rock and Roll All Night. Classic Kiss logo from the 70s. Although it looks a little distorted and a little taller than it should be. Normally the Kiss logo is not as... This is like they took the logo and they stretched it vertically, okay, to fill in a squarish space because it's really it's a little more rectangular like a TV. Okay. Crazy Nights, who cares? That's another album cover or album name. I don't remember this album cover specifically, but it's from the garbage era. Sorry, that's just the way it is. If you're from the 70s like myself, I'm actually older than that, but if you were listening to Kiss in the 70s, like that 70s show, then no one cares. None of us care about this Crazy Nights trash. Sorry, we just don't. For me, Kiss made the comeback when they did the return to the makeup in 1996. But this cosmetics pack is an atrocity. That's just what it is, man. I'm sorry. Same thing with all these. Now, I have nothing against these two-dimensional commanders if you wanted to buy them separately, which I don't know why they wouldn't sell those to you. It seems kind of dumb. Let's say you wanted any one of these guys or girls for yourself. You have to buy all this trash. I'm saying trash in the context of things that you don't want. Okay. Let's say you want the people, the Catman makeup, and you don't want the others. Well, you're stuck with all of them. Stupid. Just absolutely criminal. It's criminally stupid, in fact. But that's them. Now, as Brownie says, 53,000 gold, that's $200 plus. Yeah, plus. You got all your tanks, and then you got the atrocities. Oh, God. Ugh. No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, I know I forgot to mention the love gun, but okay. It was just a paper gun in the album. All this other stuff. Look at this. I mean, you're stuck with these if you don't want them. Now, you know, and here's another. Oh my, these guys are so moron. Okay, this is. I'll get this in a second. Anyway, I'll go back. But that's the atrocity. You know, it's just chock full of nuts. Okay, it's just chock full of nuts. Blah 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 blah. We already covered all this garbage. There you go. Oh, and you get, you know, the garage slots for your tanks. Ugh. All right, now let's go look at this. Oh, war chest. Okay, now that we're here, my daily. Maybe I'll get something good. Yeah, commander bonus. I can use it all the time. Okay, 1, 5, 20, 40. Do not buy these, and I'm gonna explain to you why. I would not recommend people buy this. Oh, look, you can get all these tanks. In fact, I was talking to my friend Fish last night. He's like, man, I have all the tanks. And I go, great. You know, good luck. I mean, that'll be fantastic. If he gets a tank, it's a refund for him. Problem is, you look over here. Let me use this. Commons. And I'm going to show you one of those. These are the uncommons that have gold. And, you know, regular tanks, lower end tanks. These are the epics. Okay, there's 6 or 8 or however many epic tanks in there. Some, I guess, pretty good ones. I don't remember. We'll go check it out. Okay, this is the poster child of why I would not recommend you buy Metal Fest war chests. Because look what you got here. You got a garbage two-dimensional commander, generic quasi-hippie. Imagine paying actual cash for one of these chests, and this is the garbage that you received. I would be incensed. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. This is it? Just this piece of trash? Now, I have nothing against this guy or whatever, but this doesn't fit at all. The idiocy is that none of those KISS two-dimensional commanders are in these chests. That's where they should be. Is there. Because at least, you know, that's Metal Fest and KISS, all right? But what is this dork? Tone deaf. You're completely out of your mind. Hey, if you like that, more power to you. I cannot stand it. It's an affront to me. An atrocity, as it were. So, once again, swing and a miss. So this is my Metal Fest garage, and I have the Astron Rex here because this was the tank I went and used in the Rush the Stage game. And that game mode is just, it's awful. I just don't care for it because no one uses a headset. There's no coordination. It's all a bunch of freaks running around trying to get their points for what have you. They all have a different mindset, I guess. And I found it to be incredibly distasteful. You know, the map looked fine. You know, it's basically just the Ghost Town map redressed and lit like a concert setup, and that looked fantastic. You know, which is that's what the hallmark of war gaming is, that they'll make stuff that looks great. And for the most part, they will achieve whatever their goal is sound-wise, okay? And so those normally the things sound great. The explosions are fine, what have you. All the atmospheric ambiance is good. But their game physics is just awful. It's just awful. And that's the thing that's really, the head scratchers. Like, why would you make the most important thing of your game awful? They just drive terrible. The ballistics are completely wrong. You point your barrel at a tank, literally point blank, and you have to wait for this fantasy red circle to close. Otherwise, it will likely bounce off and do no damage, or miss entirely. It's not possible to miss at the range where these tanks are sitting anywhere in any game, any time, except this game. Because whoever came up with that was an imbecile. And that's the thing that is really the head scratcher. You take all the time to get the people to make these things look great. I mean, look at these. These all look great. Everything that you have there looks fantastic. But it plays like trash. Eventually, it's not all the time awful. It's just critical time. That's when it's awful. And if you're a dissenting voice, well, let me remind you: critical hit, no damage. What is that? By definition, a critical hit is something that's going to impair the tank. How is there no damage? It's an insanity. And this is the thing. This is what happens when a narcissist is in control of something. They satisfy their own narcissistic, perverse desires that looks fantastic. Okay? Without concern to what the customer is interested in. It's all about the customer. And I will tell you that historically, when people look back at the 2020 decade, they're like, what is wrong with these people? And I'm not talking just this. This is a worldwide problem, that people are neglecting the customer. You have these just unbelievable, restaurant chains have been gutted. Pizza Hut, McDonald's, Taco Bell. They used to have unique and iconic building designs. You would drive by the Taco Bell and it looked like a variation of the Alamo, which is the mission in San Antonio where the Texans fought and held off the Mexican army. Less than 200 Texans held off multiple thousands from the Mexican army. And the Mexican army technically won the battle. But they at what price? They couldn't afford to win the war like that, because just, those guys, the Texans that were holed up into the Alamo in the mission is what it was, made a legendary stand similar to the 300 Spartans at the Battle of Thermopylae. And so the Taco Bell building used to look like a variation of the Alamo, a mission. So it was like you would drive by and go, oh, dude, that's Taco Bell, okay? And it made you connect to it. It's like, oh, man, I need tacos, okay? Or whatever else that they have. I mean, I'm a taco guy, and I like Taco Bell. So you had all these other killer, visually outstanding and iconic buildings. The movies have gone to complete trash because there's no good movies essentially being made. There's a handful of decent movies, okay? Oh, well, they have the new Jurassic Park. It is a dinosaur movie, and so you have dinosaurs, and so it'll always be useful because kids love dinosaurs. I used to be a kid. I was one of them. But back in my day, the dinosaurs were awful. Okay. So you can look at it in a skewed way and come up with a differing opinion. When you look at it from an objective opinion, you're like, oh my God, these are awful. These people in all these different industries, they're just anti-customer. And it's just amazing. This is one of them. All the other gaming companies, you see the trash that's going around. You know, what's his name? Andy Pants Gaming has a great line. It calls it Rainbow Barf. And that's what it is. You see Rainbow Barf. Fortnite is just overrun with it. And so is Call of Duty. As opposed to, and he has videos that are just awesome showing you the old school versus the Rainbow Barf. Okay, it looks like, and what he means is that all the colorations. Now, I'm going to be, if I want to be completely honest, you know, now this isn't Rainbow Barf, but it's close to it. Okay, this is the Arnold Schwarzenegger. What do you call it? The Arnie Mania. This is Arnie Mania camo. And it is a black with orange and yellow design, okay? And so it looks kind of almost Rainbow Barfish, right? Not quite, but it's in that kind of context. You could make that claim. No, there we go. But this is the it's Arnold Schwarzenegger's face, but when you put it on the tank, it becomes distorted. All right, there you can see his face right there with the classic, aviator type sunglasses. All right, it's not a Rainbow Barf like they have some other ones that are Rainbow Barfish. Okay, and I don't like it. This is not the rainbow version. We don't really have a rainbow specific one. But you have these that are kind of the same, ugh. This is just ugh, all right? Now this blue one actually isn't bad for a winter camo. This is just an atrocity, okay? Like, what is this? Yeah, this doesn't do it for me, but if you like this, it's like, okay, I can understand someone going, that's cool, all right, whatever. This is the patriotic version. Yeah, doesn't do it for me, but okay, that's fine, whatever. But come on, dude. I mean, this is just wrong. This is not anything militaristic, but this is the kind of thing he's talking about, this Rainbow Barf looking garbage. And it's all over these other games because they don't care about their customer. They think their customer is a pervert. All right? That's just what they think. It's the only conclusion that you can make when they do these things that are horrible. Now, again, like I said, this one is it's different than that. But I figured I would address it since I mentioned that. And that's what we're looking at. And Wargaming is guilty like a lot of these other companies are guilty. They completely missed the boat. They have, you have stuff that looks great. Okay. Well, why doesn't the physics work? As I mentioned to one of my friends, it's like, if they would have been using Unreal Engine, everything would have been good. But the problem is Unreal Engine isn't out to make everything bad. And that's what these guys do. The Wargaming MO, modus operandi, is to make everything bad, but you can pay to make it slightly less bad. Like, really, dude? That's your claim to fame. That's how you're going to get successful. Well, the answer is no, you're not going to be successful. In fact, let's prove it. Okay, the numbers are tiny as I'll get out. What do these numbers say? 3,000 something or other. So under 14. Okay, right here. Under 4,000 in USA. Under 14,000 in Europe. This is 11:15 Central Time in America. So you have right now less than 18,000 total players online. And if you call that a success, you know, you'd be like a beginner company that would be successful. You know, your game has come out relatively recently, you know, hopefully gaining popularity. But when your game has been out over 10 years and you have under 18,000 people on a brand new event, Metal Fest, for example, you are striking out, okay? It's like saying, hey there, you know, Big Bob in baseball. Well, you struck out again. Yeah, well, I'm here on the major league team. Yeah, but you stink. You can't stink forever. Well, you can't get rid of me. My contract is okay. Well, you know, so it's like a bad baseball player who's on a team and he's there even though he's bad. I give to you Wargaming. That is the scenario you're looking at. They're underperforming repeatedly. You know, I was very optimistic, and I thought, oh man, this Metal Fest will be great. And then it makes me question Halloween, because Halloween is the best part of this game for me. 2 weeks of Halloween is the absolute apex. And man, I'm like, well, I hope they don't screw that up. You know, that's the thing, is like these guys are just it's like they're going out of their way to find ways to wreck something. They build Metal Fest, it's like, okay, and then it was better. You know, last year was good. But now, this one, I would say, is a major league disappointment for me. I thought, man, Kiss is going to be awesome, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, no, it was average. I'm going to make a video showing 2 of the tanks, the Spaceman and the Catman. Were in a game I played yesterday. I was going to put it in this video, but this is going too long. So anyway, I think I have nailed this to the wall for what it is or is not. Hopefully you can use this before you have messed yourself up and bought stupidity. This video was actually made because my friend Fish asked me about, well, you need to check into those tanks, etc. And I'm like, he told me that Spaceman tank had an over 20-second reload, and I was completely shocked. I was like, what? Oh yeah, dude, it's sick. But it'll be in the other video, so this one has drug on because it just got on a roll. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this will help you out. I'm completely satisfied with my Demon Commander, and you've seen him here going berserk with the sparks from the playing and then his awesome flame. Boy, on cue. Unbelievable. So hopefully that helped you guys out. Looking forward to making another video. See you guys there. And I guess that's it. So just remember to like and subscribe. Rock on.